Hello, it's Sunday. I'm back. Just watched a video, The Man Alone, and he's figured out treasures. He's not talking about the treasure chest. He's not talking about the treasure chest. There's nobody watching. Did somebody else go live on my night and steal all my viewers again? Let's see. I hate that. Because, yeah, hey, there's somebody. There's Jason. I'm wondering who else went live and stole the audience there. I was just watching Man Alone video, and he's figured out, oh, what is this? As I got alone in there with my treasures. He's not talking about the treasure chest, because once all that's put in the treasure chest, that's a treasure. That's not treasures anymore, And I've known that. His treasures are his memories. He treasures his memories. And there are memories at this place from Vietnam, memories from Texas, memories from Montana, Wyoming, New Mexico. All his memories are in this place because his memories are on the canyon walls. And down to 1, 2, there's got to be somebody else that went live. They figured out I do Sunday nights, and so they pig over onto my night, And bastards. Let's see who's doing it. Who else is live right now? Oh, tell Sasha I say hi, Jason. Hi, Maria. How you doing? Filter today. Yeah. New set reminder of 226. Nope. They're not live. Okay. Well, my computer says there's nobody else on there right now. My drone, the camera on the drone failed on the 5th flight. Fifth or sixth time I tried to fly it. There's no camera. No camera, no connection to the camera. So there's a hole where the camera used to be. Yeah, it's $30 for another camera, but I got a full refund on the whole drone package. So I had the remote, and this one, I got another one coming, so it's half the price. Yeah, Crimson Coat. What's that? That's a new one to me. Hey, Joe. The judges all stand. The judges in the house. Yeah. I didn't even stand up, did I, Joe? Oh, now I was getting hungry. It's like, I don't have time to fix dinner before I stream, so don't be surprised if I get hungry and end the show sometime. I had sent my drone up with my Sony camera on it. Where'd it go? Here, I taped the camera to the bottom of the drone and sent it up, but it was vibrating like hell on the drone. Need some kind of insulation to. Hey, Bob Art. But yeah, I was talking about, Man Alone's figuring out, oh, this is something spiritual. His treasure is something spiritual, and yeah. I've been saying that all along. You know, they think they've got something new, but I've been saying it has to do with both, and as above, so below, and where warm water's halt is not just a place on the map. It's your birth, your death, you know, when your heart stops beating, your warm blood is halted. Also, where water halts, throw a rock in the water. Where does it halt? At the bottom. At the bottom. Water halts at the bottom and at the top, or where it gets cold, hot, warm, or Forrest. Why is Forrest mention the hot, steamy bottom? Hot, steamy bottom. It's where the heat comes from. Where it goes from warm to hot. And if you stuck your toe in where warm water halts, you'd burn your toe probably, because that's a hot spring. And they drop a line down there and measure how deep it is to see where it halts. That's the only way to measure a hot. You're not measuring how far the water goes down the river. You're measuring how far the water goes down the hole. How deep is a hole? That when any question that he suggests you ask is the question to ask. Ask him how deep is a hole. Ask him how deep is a fire hole. And then he's got the sign right there. It says water hole. How deep is a water hole? Where does the warm water halt? At the bottom. Where all water halts at the bottom. You hit the bottom of the lake. You know, for ice fishing, when you go ice fishing, you drop all the fish are at the very bottom, trying to stay. That's, you know, where it's warmest for them, down there at the bottom. It's frozen on top. I got ice fishing back about 1990 on Twin Lakes or Blue Lakes. Is Twin Lakes or Blue Lakes? It's near what's that town? Molly Brown town, Leadville. There's a couple of lakes there, Twin Lakes. And what you go out there, and that's freaky when you're out there in the middle of the lake and it you hear this cracking coming across the lake. Oh no, it's gonna we're gonna go in. Yeah. You want to be careful when you're on ice. No worries. Transformation. The creek freezes from bottom up. Yeah, the creek freezes from bottom. I see most of them, they're frozen on the top, and the water's running underneath the ice. You know, my creek does. But in the winter, that's one way to get across it. But I was at my one spot where Fenn's totem is. Man, it's a hill like this going down, and it's just funnel right into where you go in the water, and then the water's at that time of year, it's probably 4 feet deep, and you go under the ice, and in the water under the ice, and you don't ever come back up. So you don't want to mess around with that shit. Don't flirt with death. But I was gonna go through some of the things, the clues. You think it's possible that it's an advertising gimmick for tourism? No, it's an advertisement gimmick to expose that remnants of Atlantis have been found. It's, if anything, it's an advertisement for Doug Preston. They told Forrest, oh, nobody else can see that stuff. No, Forrest want to bet. So he's got a wager between him and Doug Preston whether that he could get somebody else to see what he's seen. You know. Whoa. I was gonna let's do it on that one. See if I can get my phone. There's another magnet. Make my little magnet thing here a little stronger so that when I put it on the computer screen, it'll stay. Let's see. Let's put my hand back here while I switch the camera around and get the zoom in proper before. Who's that? Yeah, that'll work good. Okay. So now I don't know how many can see that, can't see that. And that's the same thing basically. Except right here, you see this little guy sitting right here. There's his nose, his eyes. He's got a little hat, and he's reaching inside the kid's head. He's got his arm going into his forehead there. But you see the hair, the same hair, same kind of face, little beady eye there, little beady eye. He's looking over because that's his father trying to get inside his head. Okay, let's see what else I got on here. These are the gypsies. No, how do I do that? Yeah, you see. Oh, where's her face? There's her face. See her face in through there? Well, no, you see the head right there. There's her nose, her mouth. Here's her hands coming up. She's clapping. Here's the other one over here doing the elephant dance. That thing with the arm up there with the wrist bent and the elbow bent and stuff, that came from the mammoth. That's the mammoth trunk. And you see another woman here dancing. You see her face, and there's her arm. The Rockwell kid, there's a few of them. I spotted him in my pictures. Once I discovered that these were some ancient ruins and stuff, I started taking pictures of all of them rocks. But this Rockwell kid, I found him with my drone. and that's another reason that Forrest. You see this one dancing here with her arm up here? This is the arm here. That's that arm. That's that arm. Boom, boom, boom. And what's that on? Is her fingers, or she got some bells she's swinging around? I don't know. Oh, and here's the. This guy's showing the way. Oh, yeah, about 2 weeks and 3 days before sinus surgery. There's an elephant in the creek. Now, why? Oh, what the focus is out. All right. Try and level that there. Oh, well. So that's the elephant in the creek. Yeah, because this place, I went walking down the creek about a half mile down, just walking down the creek to get some of the rock formations, because there's another Rockwell boy This was the Indiana Jones rock. You see him, see his eye, he's got the sword straight up and his hat behind there. Um, the elephant in the creek is just 100 yards from place I camp. It's just right by one of the boondocking places I go camping. I can show you. There's a big old his ball of string. There's a ball of string next to it too. This is the rabbit that was in the D hole, the rabbit hole. It was a hole in the middle of the D, and this rabbit was there, and he just sat there and let me take his picture, going, "Don't kill me, don't kill me." You know, just a little rabbit. It's one of the places I camp. You see the stumps, so I kind of extended the picture, put the stumps in it. Okay, this is FENN, and this is a fish, and these are fish hooks. Yeah, that's the close. That's as close as you're gonna get to Fenn on the canyon wall. White man goes into his church house and talks about Jesus, but the Indian goes into his teepee and talks to Jesus. Now, you see, this is the asterisk thing. And you see there's a cowboy head there. The eye, the nose, the hat, the chin, and the mouth. It's his asterisk. That's one of them. But it looks like water drops, a splash thing. But that's why he talks about telling people to get into abstract art. Yeah, there's one I call it Fred Flintstone house. It's a big rock, and well, there's a bunch of rocks, and there's a big rock sitting on top of it, makes kind of a little room underneath it. And there's a back escape route, and everything on it. This guy's holding his princess in his hand. You see his eyes there, his nose, and he's looking at her. Here's her legs. He's got his hand. That's the wrong hand, but he's got his hand there holding her. You know, he's holding her in his hand, and that's right next to the gypsies. This thing, I call it the stone igloos. Yeah, because these arches, it's double omegas. Here, do you see the kid there? See his head? This is his head. There's an eye. That's an eye. That's an eye. Here's his mouth. Here's his elbow and his shoulder, and here's his legs. That's why a kid might have an advantage, and they're better at climbing. This is my dinosaur. This is a T-Rex head over here. This is a big T-Rex, and these are his front. He's holding on to this tree, grabbing this Christmas tree. Oh, yeah, there's a giant penny right here. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a coin? It looks like a penny there. There's Enki in his throne. The same guy shows up in Persia. You see here's his lap, his legs. He's sitting in the chair's his head there. But it's the same thing you see in Persian. Yeah. And then this one here, see the drawing with the marbles fits right over the top of this. And right where the hands are is this eagle in this. See, there's an eagle in there. It's a rock eagle, but the drawing just fit perfectly for that. That's the eagle in the thing. Eagle nest, whatever. Hmm. Do you see what's in there? No. Where are they? Hard to see. Now here you got an alpha. See, he's got the alpha, omega, omega, omega. And I found this symbol in the field too. But this is at San Lazaro. And his plane in the rock with the fuel tank. That's right next to the double blazes is right back here behind the plane. That looked like somebody scuba diving to me. Some reason. Yeah. I see his tanks, his legs, and he's kind of swimming. There's his face in there. That's the double blazes turned upside down. They're cow udders. Yeah, it was Skippy. Yeah, and he's scuba dive. Oh, let's go back. I was trying to rotate. See, that's the double blazes. The two middle fingers sticking up in here. This is looks. See, with the red ochre and stuff, it looks like a fireplace. It looks like a fire hearth. And these are the middle fingers here sticking up. And that's why I was saying when you flip them upside down, then it looks like cow udders and cats. You see the cats? See the cat there? This is a cat head here. There's the eagle up in that's big eagle head up there. Eagle nest. This was my Alice in Wonderland. See, there's the girl right there. There's Alice. But look up here in the tree. Where's White Rabbit? There's the White Rabbit. And there were figures up in the tree to see. There's more up there. White Rabbit, bearded guy. Forrest even named his parachute, you know. That's riding the ibis. See the guy up here smiling, laying on top of this bird with his wings. I'll show you the guy up here on the riding the ibis better. See, he's got you know, that's a man riding on the back of the ibis. And in here, look, this is a fish. That's a fish mouth, fish eye. But and look at this. That's that's a decoy treasure. Forrest didn't put any decoys out there. The decoys are naturally out there. They're natural. Or in that case, it wasn't really. But this was this is by that. Yeah, I thought it was. I went up there and climbed all over it. But this is a helicopter. See, the blades are up here. The blades up here at the top, and this is a cockpit and tail rotors back here. And there was a couple of other figures in these rocks. You don't know the difference between no decoys. He didn't put no decoys out there, and no decoys. Natural decoys. There are millions of natural decoys out there. You can ask Forrest about that. Are there any rocks? Ask Forrest, are there any rocks out there that might look like the treasure from a distance? That would be considered a decoy. And you got to be totally brainless to imagine that there's no rocks out there the shape of the treasure chest that will throw you off from a distance. Or on Google Earth. Look at all the people. A guy from Australia ran a helicopter to go look at a pixel from Google Earth. This guy's roasting marshmallows. Here's his marshmallow stick and his marshmallow out here. This is a little fire blaze going. Yeah, Forrest didn't put decoys out there, but there's decoys, natural ones. This is Forrest Fenn's totem. And this figure over here, this guy is the one that Forrest Fenn, I said, this was some Air Force pilot over here. And I said, who's that guy? And he said, that's George Washington. So we'll see, he says, this is George Washington here. He's stuffing in there. But I've sat on top of here and I hung my metal detector over the face and scanned the whole face of that, and there ain't nothing there. And I've stood right here where the mouse is with a rope. I've tied off. Wasn't going anywhere. But you see, and there's a giant arrowhead over here. Here's another giant arrowhead. Do I check his mouth for wood? Yeah. There's no wood in his mouth. There's a fish hook in his mouth. Now, you see that profile? Here's an eye, the nose. That's Forrest Fenn right there. And this is the fish hook in his mouth. And this is the guy squatted up, curled up with the pie under the tree. He's under here. I'll probably get to that one here real soon. This was where I was camped for 2017 summer. Yeah, it's a Space 24, I think it is. And the Gus hat, this is a Gus hat. It's related to Lonesome Dove. Quanah Parker, Lonesome Dove. This hat is tied to Quanah Parker, Lonesome Dove. Olympinus. Yeah, you see where I had the Moon Valley and the Moon Valley. Boom, boom, boom. And the other one, there's Lonesome Dove and Moon Valley right next door to each other. Yeah, Forrest is deceptive. He's not always honest. If there's somebody who's a real scoundrel like K-Pro trying to push answers at him, he's going to give them an answer that's way out of bounds. Not part of something to just throw her off. Yeah, he told He told Bill Sullivan that I was good with an axe. Yeah, nudist camp was no, it's not. They'd arrest you if you got naked there. Good evening. Good panning. Yo, Sunday searchers. That's the Buffalo Cowboy car where I found it, as I found it. That's the bullet hole. Why does he Photoshop a bullet hole on the car in the book? Why does he Photoshop a bullet hole? And this is braving in the wood, because you had to be a brave little fucker to lasso that buffalo, and ride in the car and crash in the creek. The crash. If you're braving in the wood, I give you title to the gold. What is the opposite of where warm waters halt? Crashing in the creek. Where this car halted, they crashed in the creek and got wet and freezing cold. So it was worth the cold to ride that car into the creek on a probably below 50-degree afternoon or something. It was probably 50, and by the time they were done, it was probably 40 degrees, and they're walking home soaking wet from crashing in the creek. And it was worth the cold to ride in the Buffalo Cowboy car. He had to be brave to lasso that buffalo. That's the final piece. And it's not out there for you to find no more. This is Skippy's helicopter contraption. Well, the rotor blades started turning slowly at first and then faster and faster, and the whole machine rolled over on its side, and parts started to flying through the sky like missiles. And you see all the parts scattered around. And there's the gearbox. You see this picture with the parts, there's the gearbox there. It's kind of tilted and leaning on a rock. It's not really on its side. But it's a tow truck gearbox. It's from a tow truck. And I guess the tow truck is trying to pull something out of this canyon, and whatever it was trying to pull out of the canyon pulled the tow truck into the canyon, and this part was just too heavy for him to pull out of there, because it's like 400 or 500 feet off the road. And so this is Skippy's helicopter contraption, and it's in the W of the word wood. The Buffalo Cowboy car was in the D of the word wood. There's the gearbox. See how it's leaning? Those look like golden parts in there, don't they? They're not. That's it there. There's no way you're going to roll that over. That thing's heavy. This is his pile of pile of airplanes. I photoshopped the F-100 on there and all that stuff. But when you get up here to this Piper and stuff, look, there's a guy in the cockpit. There's a little guy in the cockpit. Here's another cockpit. This is a cockpit here. This is the window. So that's his pile of wrecked airplanes. This is his trove, my treasures, my memories for all to seek. This is finding his memories. Oh, the sister has. Oh, that sucks. Okay. That's excellent. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still. I got more. Yeah, I got too many health problems. This is go in peace. You see the hand here, the peace sign. Yep, I'll do it this way, right there. Okay, this is like this, the hand, and each see there's the fingers bent over here. Here's the two fingers going. There's the hand. There's a face here looking at it, but each of these fingers is another person. There are people in the fingers. It's really cool. Oh, took that picture right after having dinner at the local restaurant. Come on, thing, straighten up, stay there. Go in peace. It's the peace sign. Yeah, we doing the prayers. There's, of course, Moses. Moses is an important figure. He's a blaze. He's standing there parting the Rocky Mountains, showing the way to the Great Plains. And you see, this is a face here. This is her shoulder and arms. I guess there's two other figures between, but yeah, there's a whole row of people here, and they're all looking at Moses standing there. And he comes out winter solstice before sunset. That Moses is an important figure, and he said on Jenny Kyle's, success is an omnipotent guru. And Leo Salazar, who showed him where Moses was, is the only person he called an omnipotent religious guru. Yeah. How tall? He's about 6 feet tall. He's life size. You see the sage or whatever growing here? So and he's standing on the head. He's standing on this mammoth, and the wooden Moses. He said that Leo carved a perfect likeness. The wooden Moses looks just like this Moses. That's further back. You see Moses standing right in there. See if we can zoom in. There he is. There's all these figures. And up here, there's people, see them. This guy here with his head in the rock. And here's his back and his butt. There's another guy behind. This is his face, his shoulder, his arm, standing right behind him. He's got his head buried in the head of a mammoth there. He's worshiping the mammoths. Knows the answer to success. Yeah. And here, the word will is hidden in there. His will is hidden in there, and it comes out in the last stanza. The will comes out in the last stanza. It's hidden. As I've gone alone in there. Okay, what's in there? His will is in there. And it comes out as above, so below. This is in the top half of the poem. This is in the bottom of the poem. So his will is in top and bottom of the poem. Some people don't get it. 4 cards and a joker. Okay, we got a bunch of kings. This is a king. Probably Thoth was. Is Thoth a king or not? I don't know. But anyhow, his Moses figure is actually the same guy's Thoth, because this Moses figure fits That's something in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And then I got Anubis. That's Anubis there. This Anubis's mouth. These his ears. And this is his scepter over here. That's blurry because this picture isn't that big. This one I call the Clovis Queen. And there's Forrest Fenn, the Joker. So King, 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 Joker. There's the Blaze. As he crashed his plane halfway up 1,000-foot karst. There's Moses and the Ten Commandments. There's the burning bush. Trying to dramatize it, put the flame in there to get people to realize what a blaze, There's Moses again. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, there's several things in this picture. I like the guy in the crack up here. This figure in here. You see his head there, and here's his legs and his knees. There's people hiding up there. That I cut out what was in the dark spot and brightened it up and then pasted it back in the picture. So you can see it was like that. He was in there, and I just brightened him up. But yeah, there was a bird and a crescent up here, and there's this rock here looking up there. And I think I got to get I haven't gone on top of this rock, but I can get there. There are ways to get there. Of nature. There's see, this is the backside of a woman or something climbing in, looking. Here's the arm hanging down. There's the rear end, the head. Just anything. The path of Manti in the underworld, where the great king sits upon his throne of might. Is the Denver Museum and Museum of Nature and Science. This is it matches this page with these pictures in his fishing chapter. So you try to figure out, where's the even look at this, 2 rows of solar panels here, two rows of fish. Hey, how you doing, Sean? And I showed Sean the mammoth parade, but one time I was up at the one area, one of my areas I searched, and there were some Amish people pulled off and stopped there, and I showed them. I told the guy, "You see that face on the rock?" He's, "Oh my God!" And they left. They ran like there was some evil spirit there in the rock. But you see, here's the Father and the Son. See the glasses here, and the hair, and here's the boy sitting over here. Here's his head, and he's sitting there. The Father and the Son lecture thing going on there. We can zoom in on them. So this is the, that scene. That's why he said, "Oh, I didn't know Rockwell did that," because Fred Flintstone did it 14,000 years ago. Rockwell just copied Fred Flintstone. There's no problem with that. No, that's not Rockwell's design. That's something from way in the past. He didn't copy him. What colors are a columbine? Oh, He said daffodil. Daffodil was a substitute for columbine because columbine's Colorado. It represents the end of the rainbow. Here's the canoe underneath the rock. His canoe under here. And this is an elephant trunk, believe it or not, coming in, loading this woman and girl. And this is the oarsman standing back here. And you can see there's snow there, and you can see my metal detector leaning on the tree. There's no paddle up your creek. No, you got to get out and you put the canoe and the people on the mammoth and take the mammoth. The mammoth will carry the people in the canoe to the other side. That was the take. That's the takeout, and so the put-ins on the other side of the mountain. And if you're going the other way, it's just the opposite. Lewis and Clark had takeouts and put-ins, and then Long John Silver. If those be his eyes and that be his nose, why the nose to the toes points the way to the treasure. And what's he looking at? Rocks. I mean, even Davio is suddenly on to rocks, but he doesn't know that my solution has anything to do with rocks or something. He doesn't. It's like you know who's not paying attention. You know, there's for whom the bell tolls. The hand holding the bell is the hand like that, holding the bell. This is the bell shape. And you see part of the bell's in the dirt, right? So you got to use your imagination. There are parts missing. It's not a complete bell, because part of it's in the dirt there. But that's for whom the bell tolls. And here, you see, this big guy here, and he's got this box on his chest. Boom, boom, boom. It fits there. Just to show you, because you see how huge this guy is. 600 feet long. He's 600 feet tall in there. He's huge. Ta-da. There. If you have search for best to leave them in the car, because the treasure's a prize, and you got to go in and sign papers with lawyers and all that stuff. You don't need to bring your friend for that. There's showing that, he carved a perfect likeness. The wooden one's a perfect likeness of the stone one. There must be a second salamander out there. Yeah, that's right. Hey, yeah, old DeCall, he needs to find tapeworms, not salamanders. Here I took the gold thing from and put it over this. He's hugging the elephant rock. What's a benchmark? A benchmark is a picnic table on the map. It's a picnic bench on the map. Bring a sandwich. Bring a sandwich. I see benchmark. And there's 10 billion blazes out there. So if you start with the first clue and let it take you to the blaze, you have to start with the first clue and let it take you to the blaze. Yeah, you know how many bottle caps are out there too? And I showed you and Joe sent me the the elephant bottle of Great Bet concentrate. Grab all the bananas. This is the mammoth parade that I showed Sean. In the wood, art is in wood frames. But in the wood is just the word wood. People can't believe it, that it has nothing to do with wood frames or any. Wood is the word wood that some alien crop circle artist cut out of the forest. Yeah, you see, I put his. There's the Biddy's boy. That one. You see the elephant in this? This is the trunk coming down. This is the eye, the legs, and there's people underneath the elephant. Whatever. Hey, look at this. I like this one here. Yeah, the meek, they can't see shapes in. Oh, no, I can't see that. I can't see that. And so I got the different pieces. Where's Lewis and Clark? They're in here. I thought I had them in there. There's Miss Ford waking him up at his desk. And flying the thing. And the bell. The hand and the bell. And I found a telephone right next to that hand and bell. And the no paddle up your creek. And that was I wish someone would ask me a question that I would feel comfortable with, like, what color is a daffodil? I asked him what color is a columbine, and he wouldn't answer me. There's the whoop of the drum, and the beat of the dance, or whatever. It's there on that, and that's on the roof of the one I was talking about. Was like Fred Flintstone house. Salvador Dali elephants. Now we know where he got his inspiration from. Rocks. Yeah, this is I cut the background out around it, so you can see it better. That's Miss Ford waking Forrest up at his desk. See him sleeping there? He's sleeping on his desk. And there she is holding the school book. What is your name? What is your quest? You going Monty Python on me, J.A.? We are the knights who say me. And here's Lewis and Clark. Look, see the two guys in the arm pointing that way? West. Go west, young man. That's the asterisk face. I like that. Sometimes, Forrest said, sometimes I'm weird. Hey, there's aliens in the rocks. He said aliens? See the face here, and there's a face here. But, yeah, it's an elephant head coming down, too. That's Thoth. See, here's the alpha. The two legs are the alpha and the omega. U shape. Alpha and omega, and it's too far to walk. There's the legs walking. That's Thoth riding the ibis, and he has a Thoth from Egypt. You got more than $50 in your pocket. Yeah, more than I don't know. I haven't counted the money in my pocket lately. Let's see how much money I got in my pocket. Let's see. I got $28 in my pocket. I must be winning because I ain't got $50 in my pocket. Yeah, I see Skippy, Poseidon. There's the cow udders. That's the blaze turned upside down. The double blazes turned upside down. The little girl from India cannot get closer than the first two clues. She knows what the hell an elephant is. There's the great bet bottle. One of them. The elephants are the other. And I went and looked in the top of that, and it wasn't in there. And he said, how do you fit all that in a little great bet bottle? He was talking about the elephant in the great bet bottle. How you fit it all in there? I call this one the Clovis Queen. She's awesome. She's on the back of my RV. I got a big 3 foot by 4 foot of that vinyl on the back of the RV. There's the elephant in the creek, another elephant in the creek. This is the Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth. I got other pictures of it. That's an art one of it. There it is. You see, there's the this is the head of the mammoth and the trunk curled here. And here's the Clovis point right where the ribs go. Bring sugar cane for elephants. Yeah. The strawberries. I bet elephants love strawberries. So yeah, that's it's the outline, the elephant. Otherwise rolled, flip backwards, upside down. Oh, because I'm flipping it around. Okay. You hit the wrong button. This I photoshopped, because I had the rock and I put a waterfall behind it. Put this guy there looking up at him. There's the gypsies. But those gypsies, go back to them because those gypsies are right across the street from Bootjack Ranch. And you know what an Omega is? You know what an Omega is? Yeah. Or maybe that Omega on the other end. That's the Bootjack. Double Omegas. Bootjack Ranch. That's a badass Bootjack, though. My Bootjack. See, Moses is in here. That's Moses right here. That's him there. With the see, when the sun is in this crack, there's not a dark hole there. Then you see it's the same place, but the sun is not shading it like the other picture I have of Moses. To see Moses best, you want to be there at winter solstice. Moses. The elephants are Omegas. Like the Bootjack. Yeah, you won't find another Bootjack like that. A lot of them are bugs or something. But you see, BJR, Bootjack Ranch. And you go to this gate, and you look across the highway, you go to the east just 50 yards or whatever, so the trees aren't blocking your view, and you'll see the gypsies up on the cliff, and they're easiest to see at sunset. But this Bootjack Ranch, Forrest said that however many acres of federal land there is, and that anybody only deserves, if you divide that amongst the 300 and something million people, anybody only deserves 2.086 acres of that federal land. Bootjack Ranch is 3,500 acres of federal land owned by David Jennings Brown, who died in 2013, but he was selling it when Forrest was put out the book. The land was for sale at that time and was sold for $80-something million. And now you can buy 35 acres for $5 million. Here's Forrest standing there. You see, there's a horse in here. I call this the horse. This is a horse. Here's his head for legs and the back legs. Sloth goes a quarter mile an hour. That is slow. And you see, here he is with his fishing pole. There's this guy, and there's his fishing pole, right? Standing over the creek. But you go down here and look at this. This is an elephant here. And there's this rock. This is an elephant in the trunk coming down. And look, there's the wood. I've rolled these logs over and looked. I rolled them over and rolled them back how they were. Of course, marble gaze, the no paddle up your creek. Forrest says, find a good-looking rock. And there's a couple good-looking rocks. I cut them out of another picture and put them there with the creek. And this is this is where the one where I walked into the waterfall, looked at around the corner here at the base of the waterfall. You want to find a good-looking rock. Oh, I didn't show you. She's got a painting. See her hands coming up on the painting here, and she's making this painting. She's an artist, a rock artist. Yeah, I went to the St. Pete. I didn't realize that. You see the size of some of them paintings, and man, oh yeah, they're huge, 35 feet tall. Yeah, rock artist. She's a rock artist. FENN, fish and fishing hook. If I could find a good-looking rock. Through the chase. Look, see, he's got this tail thing coming off the back of his hat, which is what I saw here. Kind of. And these X straps are like gun belts from the Spanish War or something, you know. There's Anubis. That's Anubis and his scepter. His scepter has a vortex with people. See, there's people, these black things across here are people walking along, and they come up this ramp, and they go up the ramp, and then off to heaven they go. This is a vortex in there in his scepter, because he's the god of the dead. Yeah. But you see, there's people over here running to him. It's very hard to see this stuff because it's so old. Starman, yeah, I like that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I have a copy. Um, here's the girl with the paint, with the paint job. That's off the rock, and all I did was turn the saturation up to get it to bring out the old colors. And I've been to that meteor crater in Arizona a couple times. Last time I went by there, I didn't stop, but I camped near Winslow. Has a free campground about 5 miles south of town. There's the helicopter again. You see, these are the blades, rotor blades up here. Here's the cockpit and the helicopter. Here's the ZPU gun. This is what a ZPU gun looks like. He got shot down by a ZPU gun. It's got a couple of 50 cals on it. But I think there's two on the other side too. But and so it's this rock here with one of them's up and the other one's down because his friend came by and took it out. And this is the Biddy's boy. You see, he's over here. That's him. And I climbed around this. This is like a 50, 60 degree slope. You know, you move real slow. And if you fall, you got to roll down the hill a little ways. And again, okay, we're back at the beginning here. So let's see, let's switch around. I'll go back to that. How come? There I am. I had another. Where is it? That was the Trove. Okay. PNG. Under. Okay, I know where to find it. Yep. I'm looking for another folder here. Not making you look at my computer while I browse my files folders. F100. Gas, no, wood. Rainbow, all right. Maps there. Okay. Well, might as well start with those. So, yeah. This is a follow the dots, follow the D's, and I just went around the perimeter, to make the add the trees and stuff. It's going to go through all of them. Yes. See the tree real close to the cliff like that? It's pretty close. I got a lot of spots like that, and I'm looking at around any tree that's up close to the cliff in my search area, Oh, that was somebody's marriage record. It has to do with the chase. Nobody could read it though. This is showing. Here's this little gold guy, but there's an elephant. There's an elephant figure in the map. And the gold is hugging the elephant, and there's somebody else standing there on the map. I don't know. Did he add stuff to that map, or is it all natural on the map? What am I showing? If you want to take time to read that. As I said, that without even thinking, but I did start thinking about it, and that led to different ideas. I said, if you got to go, why not take it with me? That's what this treasure chest is all about. It's not as much fun having it as it is collecting it. If you have something in your house that when you were 15 years old that you really treasured, you look at it today and you may not treasure it as much as the day today is when as you did then. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's Treasure Falls from my drone. Okay. There's Thoth, an art thing of him. And you see there's another face in here next to him. And that's right below the Moses blaze. And he's got the one horse land and cattle company at Creek Cattle Company and Livery Emporium, McCrae, and P.E. Parker. You see that P.E. Parker, think Quanah Parker. Parker. That's Quanah Parker's family. There's Biddy's boy. Now you see that wood is into the rock. And it is wood. But I thought it could have been a tusk or something because it's in the rock. And that's the stout-hearted men, the guy laying there on his back looking up. That's the gypsies are the blaze at one end and the stout-hearted men are the blaze on the other end. So this is the other end of the rainbow. This is a grind, where they grind their grain here. The Indians would. That rock is still sitting there. Yeah, I'll do a little video with that and demonstrate how it was used. You still see it. It's sitting there. That rock's been sitting there a long time with all them lichens on it. Those lichens can be a couple thousand years old. This is you see his stout-hearted men figure right here, and he's looking up at these other figures up here. There's other stuff up here. What are they doing? Look at that. Can you see a woman here and her arm coming over? It's hard to see. But there'd be figures all over up in there. It's freaky. See these people in here. I think the treasure hidden in the field, which is a man found hidden in his joy and himself. Yeah, a lot of people are looking for the treasure chest, and it's not the treasures that that's the prize. If you find his trove of memories, that's the prize. You win. if you find his trove of memories that are scattered along the canyon walls, you see there's that stout-hearted men figure laying there. The other guys are all along here. And you see the stout-hearted men guy. You want to see where he is? There he is, right here, laying there. So that's a whole canyon wall there, and there's stuff all along up here. I'm gonna go fly my drone along, get closer shots of all this, because you see there's, look at that guy, look at that long black hair. And there's a face in right down here and a couple people there. That's what he saw. He'd go flying around looking for stuff under the rocks and stuff. And he flew by this and he said, holy smokes. No, you can't put a Walmart there. I will show you that since look at the date I got my Oregon license. On his birthday. That's when I first got my Oregon license, on Forrest Fenn's birthday. So yeah, and I found a couple of these, you know, here's one, and these are 30, 40 miles apart, these two heads, but they're similar, you know, just a head sticking up out of the ground. And this is from Sergeant York, the movie Sergeant York. That's a bullseye. That's a bullseye. Shot in the movie Sergeant York, and he was an omnipotent guru. For whom the bell tolls, this canyon is very similar to my canyon, to the canyon where Fenn's treasure is. Very similar. Whole cow. Ornate M&S box of 10 by 10. Only has revealed that it is hidden in the Rocky Mountains somewhere between Santa Fe and the Canadian border. Canadian border elevation above 5,000 feet. And it's in a mine. It's not in a mine, a graveyard, or a structure. Well, he's talking about, there's a couple different treasury. He talks about the trove that you're seeking and the treasure box. They're two different things. You could talk about either one, and you see the rocks behind her. This is from For Whom the Bell Tolls. You see the rocks behind her, or this is the same kind of canyon. That's in Spain, though. Blow the bridge. Blow the bridge. Look at this figure on the side of the... You see, it looks like somebody sitting there watching the bridge blow up. And to see, they threw this guy off. That's a man falling. I think it's a dummy falling. I know it's a dummy because it was for a movie. But yeah, they threw that guy off the bridge. That's Gary Cooper. Gary Cooper. Just like Gary Cooper. Super duper. Sitting on the Ritz. Just like Gary Cooper. Super duper. And this is from, from the movie For Whom the Bell Tolls. It just shows all the stuff in the rock formations. This is a place in Spain. Look, see this. See the faces in there. It's for whom the bell tolls. And Gary Cooper was in A Farewell to Arms also, and he was in the Broadway play of Catcher in the Rye. You know, paddle up your creek is heavy loads and water high. Yeah. Waiting for the bridge. Below the bridge. This is my. It looks so much like my canyon. So much. Yeah, there been no paddle. What do we got? 121. Yeah, I got the Korean version. There's the bridge. That looks like it was photoshopped in there. Old time type Photoshop. Gary Cooper, dead at 60 of cancer. That's about the same age Forrest was when he had cancer. That's a drawing by Gary Cooper, somewhere in Montana, I guess. But you see, he's got figures in the rocks. That's a tall, like Oscar standing there. I colored the drawing for him. See, there's Gary Cooper's drawing, and I added the color. Those are Gary Cooper drawings. And there's a schoolhouse slide, Texas schoolhouse slide, fire escape slide. And he got his rusty brown pants, and so he's gone down the fire escape, turned his pants rusty brown from the rust, and then you see stout-hearted men, and they got dark pants. Why? Because they went down the slide. Hey, Willie. That's Lewis and Clark. That's what I call them. There you go. That's John C. Fremont. He was a cannibal. They ate 10 of his men. And no place for the meek. Oh yeah, the reporter was hounding him. Who's Brown? Tell me who Brown is. I'm not leaving until you tell me who Brown is. Well, if I told you, you'd go straight to it. Yeah, it was like such a. He was being facetious. You were pushing. If like I said, K-Pro pushes him hard for answers, and he's going to give her an answer that's just like not going to help her at all. These are some of my rocks. So, it's just stuff carved all over that. Yeah, I got pictures from the book looking for things hidden in the pictures in the rocks. See, like this might be a rock formation you're looking for, you know. And you see the face here. Look at the look. There's his nose. Here's an eye. Here's the mouth. You see him now? Just cut this off over here. There's that face in the gold nugget. Now those he could have photoshopped into the nuggets, you know. Is there anything here? It's a CR or something. And again, I look for shapes in the rocks. Because he sees them in his shower. As I got alone in there, that looks like my breakfast. How that got in there? See, there's a face in that rock. Stone. It's a gold nugget. This is arms reached out. This is the head and the feet. And it's hugging the mammoth. This is a mammoth figure in the map. This is one of my ICs. Or see, there's people up to this guy. And there's people in here. And in there. That's a school teacher waking him up at his desk. Miss Ford. You see the cowboy? This is his nose. That's his eye. This is his hat. There's his mouth across there. There's another bell. It's in Colorado. Want me to give you the coordinates for the treasure chest? That's one of the silliest questions. Where's the treasure so I can go get it before you? You got it figured out. Tell me where to go. I'm not figuring it out for you. Showing you what I found. Fenn with the fish and the fish hooks. This is the same one where the, you know, there's the eagle in the nest. And the father and son little thing going on here. The boys here behind the tree. Fanning. There's the fish and the fake treasure. This is the fish, the mouth of the fish, and that's decoy. It was something. I was. This is a cockpit. This dark area is pieces of airplane. I was thinking. There's Caesar. Your quest to see Caesar. There he is riding the ibis. Thoth riding the ibis with that fish and the box in the well of the tree of life is what this tree is. And here I was walking across the creek, and look at that face in the creek. This is clipped from a video. And I look down, and there's a face looking up at me out of the creek. These are treasure signs and symbols. A blaze is a sign or a symbol. There's the hand of God, like in George Washington portrait, and he's doffing his hat. And then we're talking. End of the setup. So that photo was set up. Of course, I didn't take the picture. No hat. FF baseball. It must be with my drone, because there I am. It's Fenn's totem. From the drone. See, it's Fenn's totem here. And looking down the canyon. There's a swimming hole right over here. But on. But let's see. Yeah. I stand behind you. Yeah, sure. Baltimore baseball tops. FF on it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm about done. I'm hungry. And that's all I could think was give you a little slideshow, show you some of the 9 clues solved. You know what Marvel Gaze is looking at the rocks and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go because I want to eat and take care of some other things here. So I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.